At a time when Griffith is facing a huge challenge in its battle to keep its lifeblood water, it would seem that some higher powers have chosen to send a message to not only our community, but those who seek to sabotage our long-term sustainability. The current flooding situation that has impacted thousands across the Riverina region has reached our communities in recent days. In true Griffith spirit, we have seen neighbours helping each other to evacuate from the homes they love and cherish and wait with friends and family until this danger passes. The evacuations that have been implemented by the State Emergency Services are not done lightly, and I would urge all to make sure that they take due care of their most valuable possessions, their lives, and follow instructions from the emergency services. The communities of Yenda, Ugali, Hamwood, Bilbal and Bilbangra will recover from this natural disaster and be the welcoming neighbours they've always been. The strong community spirit that we have become renowned for in our fight for our future will help us to overcome the challenges we face in coming days. Our thoughts and prayers are with all from our community who experienced one of the greatest natural disasters in our history.
Council and all the emergency services want to be out there and open, transparent with the community and get the factual information and as much of it as we possibly can to you, so that there's little amount of effort and energy that we can in trying to dispel maybe some incorrect information or some rumours which tend to come around. I'd reinforce the plea for calm in the community. There has been a lot of very direct inquiries made in terms of essential services, whether it's food, whether it's fuel, connectivity with whether it's major metropolitan centres of Melbourne or Sydney, that there is access to those centres. Certainly with the Kidman Way South, there is some water across the road, yes, but the level of inundation is very slow and certainly access is there. Our airport, a very important connectivity point of course, was briefly closed I think on Saturday night prior to the final Rex flight coming in. It was opened again I think around about 12:20 on Sunday, and there is absolutely no threat to the airport facilities at all, so that air connectivity is certainly there. Another point is the natural disaster declaration status. Communities that are affected by natural disaster can apply to the state government for a special status, and certainly this council has done that. As Councillor Testoni mentioned, we did meet yesterday afternoon with our local member Adrian Pickley and the SES Commissioner here, and he gave a very clear direction that it was simply a rubber stamp process for this community to be declared a natural disaster area. The numerous agencies that are involved actively in that centre, and I'm probably going to miss a couple, but a lot of this is being done at the last minute. Services, health services, Murrumbidgee Irrigation have been active in that operations centre. Family and Community Services, Rural Fire Services, New South Wales Fire Brigades, DPI in terms of welfare. In terms of forced evacuations or compulsory, obviously the village of Ugali, Yenda, Wigelli, and then there's broader areas, but a specific facility, the Scalabrini village, has been evacuated. And certainly great care needs to be taken with those residents for obvious reasons. And our health services people assure us that there has been no incident or no unfortunate health issues directly related out of transporting those residents to appropriate accommodation. Putting these regular updates onto the websites and off to the media outlets, and we really would encourage you to take a look at those, so the latest information that you do have. And we would really request that residents, while you would like to return to your homes, the lead agencies in trying to manage this situation, really if you could resist in returning to your homes until that evacuation status has been lifted. So that's from Council's perspective, but there are also some contact numbers that residents will be able to chase up possible assistance. Now, This is not a council-driven, if you like, process, but I'm just passing on some numbers. With that declaration that's in place, there is personal hardship assistance, and the phone number is 1800 018 444. Again, this number will be on the fact sheet for you.
As outlined, Michael Brown, the local area commander for the Griffith local area commander, to capsulate Griffith in the wider areas. In terms of the policing response, we've got an over and above policing response in Griffith at the moment. The evacuated areas, we've got police on their ground there 24/7 in terms of making sure that law and order remains okay. We've had no reports in any of the areas that have been evacuated of any criminal activity in terms of break-ins and things like that. I think our community are a good community, but I can assure you that the police are out there making sure that should anybody decide that they want to take advantage of this situation, they won't be allowed to.
Easy is just opening a regulator and preventing the flooding again where it would have been done. If anybody's seen the level of flooding that we're dealing with, you would understand that the decisions that are being made in this room with these people are not being taken lightly. You have no idea how many hours it took to come to a decision to blow part of the main canal and protect Wheaton, and the consequences that had for real people and their real property. So please don't think that these decisions are being made lightly and that every avenue is not being considered. Every action has an alternative response and a consequence, and we need to be mindful of all the decisions that we are making. You've heard here today that the decisions that are being made are not being made by your mind. We have been involved right from the beginning, and we will continue to be involved. We are giving every assistance that we possibly can to the SES and the police and the council. We are providing staff in the nerve centre, and Jeff Beard and Rob Kelly have been basically tag teaming for the last 3 or 4 days. And our centre back at MI, we have staff who again have been working around the clock to collect information from people on the ground so that we can keep a handle on what's going on and feed that information back hourly and half hourly at critical points. So please don't think it's as easy as just opening a regulator somewhere. You'll see some photographs in a minute that show the thousands of megalitres that are coming across land at us. We're struggling to get the media to understand, because we don't have a flood flowing down at us from a river, the situation that we're dealing with. We're hoping that the aerial photos that you see will help you understand exactly what we're dealing with.
You have to go. Do you get choice? That wasn't made very clear to the people to get your own opinion.
You don't have to go.
Evacuate immediately. Evacuate immediately.
The normal process is that we will give you plenty of time, and in this case,
Yes, told us 6 foot at 50 mile an hour. Because 15 hours before the water came in, we ran out of that water.
Let me just
We had to leave.
People stay here, I never seen a bad man, I never seen nothing. Go, we did the right thing, we did the right thing.
Where's the left?